Today is such an exciting day for me personally, but it's not about me, which is actually, I think, why it's so exciting. When I woke up this morning, it was a great day because I got to take a look at our website, beakerhead.org, and I saw the 2013 inaugural Beakerhead 5-day program there, and I was stoked, which is great. Because that to me is a culminating point, but only the first step in the past year and a half of work that not me or our secretariat have done, but everyone out there has done. I think what's exciting about my job as a Director of Programs and Partnerships is that I actually get to help facilitate an already existing community of makers, artists, roboticists, mechanical engineers, scientists, and more to come together to collaborate on the most amazing projects that I could never dream up of, or none of us could if we were in a room alone. But when we all come together, amazing things happen, and that's where innovation occurs. So that to me is what's so exciting about the Beakerhead community and all of you. And then for us, helping bring you all together for a culminating citywide celebration that is going to make the rest of the world turn their head and look at contemporary Calgary in a whole new light. So a couple of things that I see around me that I just want to point to, because again, this is an amazing community. I want you guys to know who's here. Kevin Laycraft builds remarkable pedal-powered contraptions, and you see a couple here. If you turn around and look way up, you'll see Phil Allen's robot. Phil's from Crossfield, Alberta, and a remarkable maker, built it in his backyard. So we can all do something, right? To my side, there's a beautiful dress that I actually, funny enough, you think of the world of fashion, merge technology. Glass blowing is a highly technical art. So this dress right here, it actually encapsulates glass as well. And beside it, Dan, come on over. Homemade Segway. Let that soak in. So Dan's one of a huge community of makers and hackers here, and I see a bunch of you guys in the crowd. It's amazing. Protospace, Scaperta have come together. They're bursting. They've had to move 3 times. They're bursting out their doors again. There's some people that want to roll up their sleeves and build things. So that's phenomenal. Around the room as well, or around the lawn as well, I also see folks that are helping out. Everything from the theater community. Mark Hopkins and Swallow Bicycle Theater are producing iRobot Theater during Beakerhead. What a great way to bring performing arts together with robots, right? Fantastic. Let's merge these humans and robots together on a stage and see what happens. It's going to be a wonderful program. Theater Grand is also producing a highly digital theater spectacle as well called Pip's Lab from Amsterdam, coming to Calgary, Canadian premiere. So some of the big pieces of Beakerhead that will be happening, which I'm glad you can all take a look at beakerhead.org, and you'll see the constantly evolving 5-day program. But it's going to kick off with an opening ceremony that we call an experience of interrelated and unexpected events. Now, why unexpected? Because a lot of you are actually going to be participating. You'll get your call for action here pretty soon. But all I can say is it involves street-wide across Stephen Avenue, and it goes up to the Calgary Tower. There's a lot of possibility within those spaces. So that's how we're going to kick it off. Jay mentioned for a moment there the first ever Shell International Engineering Competition. So if any of you ever saw Junkyard Wars before on TV on Discovery Channel, think that, but took a bunch of post-secondary students, mashed them together in a bunch of rooms together at the Calgary Stampede, give them 48 hours, a bunch of crazy materials. They got to sweat it out. They're going to be given a huge challenge, and 2 days, and actually less than 2 days, actually, to build contraptions and inventions that solve that problem. That's also open to the public. We invite all of you to come and take a look at that. Beside the Shell International Engineering Competition, also just over the way at the Calgary Stampede grounds, is Sustainable. Sustainable is the first ever green carnival and midway, which is amazing. It's a group of also engineers and creative types that got together and found interesting ways to think about the transfer and conversion of energy. So we've got a full midway carnival that runs off of, get this, things like mini donuts can fuel the gravitron. Super cool. So that's going to be beside the International Engineering Competition over at the Stampede grounds. Across the city, however, are a multitude of other events, many of them produced by all of you. Our goal is to get together and put on and stage the most miraculous feats of engineering and art ever, so that we can celebrate ourselves and all of your accomplishments that happen year-round, but really at the same time find a way that the rest of the world looks at Calgary and says, what is in the water there? Because those are the most creative and innovative people ever. One of the culminating parts of Beakerhead on the Saturday night is what we call Beaker Night. So we'll be inviting everyone to come down to East Village, Victoria Park, spanning Olympic Plaza, Stephen Avenue, and more. And that's Beaker Night. It's a series of various interactive and illuminated art and engineering. So everything from 8-foot tall laser cats to 12-foot tall Tesla coils to mechanical creatures to 3D projections. And all of you are invited not only to come as spectators, but as participants. So if there's anything you want to do, help us help you carve out a spot that night to show off what you want to do. What do you want to blow up? Let's blow it up in a safe way, but let's do it together. So that's also happening. And then according to that as well, there's also a variety of other events. As I mentioned also, on the Friday night at the Epcor Center, we're hosting a curious and tremendous world of Beakerhead. There are some personalities, I have to keep it under the lid right now, but we'll be announcing names you've heard of. So think of it as a way to have an intimate night with some of the most amazing scientists and artists that many of you follow around the world. And then in addition to Backbone, we call it Speakerhead. Speakerhead is what we call the intellectual hub of Beakerhead. We're inviting many of you to share the stories about what you create and why you create. And so let's get you from behind those 2,000-pound mechanical spiders and from out of your solar cars and your designs and actually tell your story, because the process of creation means taking risks, which also means that there's a lot of us with an idea in the back of our mind or in our back pocket that don't take that moment to actually get out and turn it from a design on a napkin to an actual contraption. So we come together and share our stories of creation. We help share the problems and what we had as far as experimentation or anything that went wrong, and then we encourage more people to do the same. So on that, we're here today to celebrate all of you. So first off, a round of applause to all of you who have come together.